Aya! Welcome! It's number 15 of Records Roundup, and I've got 4 vinyl records to show you today. But before I get on to that, I just want to remind you all that this past Friday, the JB2K Vinyl Community Contest opened, and it's running until the 2nd of February. If you want to get involved and win one of 2 prizes, a grand prize of £50 and a runners-up prize of £25, then all you need to do is make sure that you subscribe to this channel. You go and watch the instruction video, the announcement video that I put up this past Friday. The link will be at the top of the description box here. You need to have a YouTube channel and you need to show me some records or CDs, tapes, whatever you want, as long as you follow the instructions and get involved with my biggest contest to date. And while I mention the description text box, all my usual links and referral for HMV, Patreon, Facebook group, Contents Insurance from Urban Jungle, all that palaver, it's all down there as well. But please, if you want to get involved, you've got until the 2nd of February to enter the JB2K Vinyl Community Contest. Right then, so I said I've got 4 records to show you. It's 3 albums and 1 12-inch single, and we shall start with the single, and this is a pickup from the Sound of Vinyl and a pretty new release as well. This is Purple Zone by Soft Cell and the Pet Shop Boys. What a combo! So this is actually a single taken from Soft Cell's new album, Happiness Not Included. I'm not a Soft Cell collector. I do quite like a lot of their stuff, but they've never been a duo that I've really got properly into. But when I heard about this particular collaboration, me being a big Pet Shop Boys fan and a big Pet Shop Boys collector, this was a single that I wanted to pick up when it came out. Originally this was supposed to be just like a Pet Shop Boys remix of Purple Zone by Soft Cell, but it ended up being a full-on collaboration, proper promo video featuring all 4 guys. Mark Almond and Dave Bell of Soft Cell, Neil Tennant, Chris Lowe of PSB. So this 4-track single is 4 versions of Purple Zone, if I can read it. Side A, track 1, Purple Zone single version, track 2, the extended mix, and side B, track 1, the club mix, and side 2, track 2, the club dub. I would have quite liked this to have been a purple record. I was kind of expecting that when I first heard that this was getting physical release, but it's not. It's standard black vinyl. I'm not going to get it open for you now. So yeah, great addition to my Pet Shop Boys collection. This is only the 2nd Pet Shop Boys release I've actually got on vinyl. All their albums I've got on compact disc, but I do have their Agenda EP that came out, that was about 3 years ago, I think. That is on 12-inch, and so is this. Great track as well. Really, really kind of nice 80s throwback. What a combination. 2 of the 1980s biggest synth pop duos together for, I think the first time ever. Soft Cell and Pet Shop Boys, Purple Zone.
So let's get out of this life. I'm afraid and alone.
While I picked up Purple Zone from Sound of Vinyl, I also managed to get another record that was 20% off in their Black Friday sale, and it's from a band who I've got one of their albums, and I've also got 2 solo albums from their former lead singer. It's a band who, they only ever released 4 studio albums, and I think that's a bit of a priority for me to get the other 3 albums after this one that I'm going to show you now. 20% off at the Sound of Vinyl meant this was about $15.99, and it is the self-titled first album from the Smiths. So this would have come out originally 1984 2004, I think. You'll see on screen anyway what the correct release date is. Not much to look at really regarding the album itself. It's got kind of a very sort of Smiths-esque cover. Can't remember who that is, someone out of an Andy Warhol film, I think. And on the back it lists the tracks on the album, obviously, as you would not be surprised to find out. 2012 reissue this. I think it might be remastered, but I'm not sure. Really looking forward to hearing this and to probably getting into the Smiths. I mean, I've heard a lot of their stuff, certainly all of their singles and a few other album tracks as well. I've got the Louder Than Bombs compilation, I've had that for a couple of years now. And I've been threatening to for probably as long as that to get more Smiths into the collection. When I saw that I could get 20% off at Sound of Vinyl for their Black Friday sale for this, I thought why not? So there we are, the Smiths and the Smiths. Next album to show you, this is the one pre-owned second-hand vinyl album that I actually got in this lot of 4. Well, it's not a lot, so I didn't buy them all on eBay or something, you know, they all came from separate websites, but you know what I mean. This came from Japan, and I had to jump on it because it was a really good price on Japanese Mercari. Now, I say a good price, you do then pay buyee fees and a couple of lots of postage, so it ended up turning out to be quite expensive. I can't tell you the exact total amount, and plus something completely unrelated, one of my daughter's Christmas presents I also managed to order from Mercari in Japan as well, so I had that sent along with this album as well. But the price it was listed at was something like about between £15 and £20, and when I was looking on Discogs and eBay at this, people are asking like £50 upwards for it. So I think even with the international postage from Japan, I think I've got a fairly good deal for this New Order album, Lost Sirens. It does have its original cellophane on, but there's no hype sticker or anything, so I'm not too worried if I end up taking that off. But as you can see, it has been opened and presumably played. So Lost Sirens is, as the title would suggest, it's a bit of a lost album for New Order, or it was. It came out in 2013, technically classed as their 9th studio album, although I don't know if I'd class it as a proper studio album, but they do, I think, so, you know, who am I to disagree? But originally recorded around 2004-2005 during the sessions for the previous album, Waiting for the Siren's Call. Now, the reason this took the best part of a decade to come out was because of the legal wranglings that occurred once Peter Hook left New Order in 2007. It finally got its release in 2013. It's kind of like a bonus mini album really, just 8 tracks on it. I'll give you a bit of a butcher's at what you get inside. Initially, if you bought this brand new, you would have got a CD of the album included with it in a cardboard slipcase. There was no CD included with this, but I've got the CD anyway, the normal CD release. So I've doubled up as I am doing on New Order albums, as you know. So it didn't bother me that that wasn't included for whatever reason from the seller. There's your inner, and there's your album itself. Not an awful lot to say about it. Custom centre labels on either side. But it's not a bad album, this. To say it kind of feels a bit outtakey, because these were tracks that I suppose technically weren't considered good enough to be included or to be considered for inclusion on Waiting for the Siren's Call in 2005. There's some strong stuff on here. For a New Order fan, it's essential, and I've had the CD for many years. Really happy that I've got this on vinyl for my New Order Doubling Up project. And the price that I paid, I didn't want to pay an awful lot for this, even though it is getting up there in price if you look on Discogs Marketplace. So to find it, someone had listed it for pretty cheap, albeit in Japan. I had to jump on this. Lost Sirens by New Order, the final New Order album featuring Peter Hook, of course. And finally, we move on to mail opening. This arrived today. This is from Juno Records, and similar to the Smiths, this was part of Juno's Black Friday sales. Only 10% off, but the good thing about Juno's Black Friday sale, on that day at least, was that it was 10% off anything on the site. Whereas the Sound of Vinyl, it was a limited selection of albums and a few singles as well. So I had a look, and because I'm doubling up with New Order, I thought, I've got to get this. Total from Joy Division to New Order This is a 2-disc set. Oh, there's a nice yellow hype there. And it's, as you would no doubt be able to tell, it's a compilation, a few Joy Division tracks that are all on side A of disc 1, and then we get on to New Order, and it's the first time that there's been a combined Joy Division and New Order compilation. They are essentially almost the same band. I certainly consider New Order's lineage to have derived directly from Joy Division. You could say that they had two specific and separate sounds. I've talked about it before in other videos. I do think that had Ian Curtis lived and Joy Division had carried on, they would have gone in much the same direction that New Order had to go in after his suicide anyway. Another one I've got on CD, obviously, anything New Order related that I show you on this channel now and in the near future, I'll have already got on compact disc. So it's kind of one of those sort of rather inessential, a little bit of a cash grab type of compilations where they can't fit every single New Order single on. They can certainly do Joy Division and their biggest singles, not that they really had a lot of big singles when in existence, because they were very much a niche Manchester indie band. It's not a bad selection really as far as New Order's concerned. It's not exactly comprehensive, it can't be, but it does have their big hits like Blue Monday, The Perfect Kiss, True Faith, World in Motion is on here, Regret, and a slightly unusual inclusion at the end of the album, last track on side D, is Hellbent, which never came out as a single. It actually featured on this before it featured on Lost Sirens, which I previously showed you. So Hellbent originally was heard in 2011, and then it actually featured on the Lost Sirens album a couple of years later. There we are. That is total from Joy Division to New Order. Happy to have this. I want to get every New Order album eventually on vinyl as well as having it on CD. In fact, Substance 1987, I've actually got that on CD and on cassette. I've shown the cassette on a video at least a couple of years ago. Might have been getting on for 3 years. Great to have this with 10% off. I think this was with postage around 30 something, under 35, which isn't too bad for 2 album set, brand new.
That guy's a fool. He's crossed the line. I stay with you till hell freezes over. We are to each other like sister and brother. One of a kind. High on my agenda. Oh, I'll change your mind. When will you surrender?
And there we are, that's a fairly quick records roundup for today. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you like looking at my pickups. Couple of Black Friday discounted records, an absolutely amazing 12-inch single. I do urge you to go and check out the video for that as well. Purple Zone by PSB and Soft Cell. And as you would suspect, I've got more stuff on the way. Pre-orders still to come, impulse purchases, more for the New Order collection. It's all out there somewhere and ready to be sent out. Well, maybe some of the pre-orders aren't quite ready yet, but they will be very soon, as some of those are coming out in early December. So that's going to be it from me. I'm going to go now. As always, got loads to listen to. Don't know what I'm going to start with, but leave it in the comments if you want to have a chat. Which would you be interested in here? New Order, The Smiths, Soft Cell and Pet Shop Boys. Quite a nice 1980s themed records roundup today actually. Yeah. And now I'm showing my age. And I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for the inevitable next records roundup video and my next record collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!